Imagine you met someone that made a prediction of the future and it came true. You'd probably call that luck. Well, what if that same person made 10 predictions of the future and they all came true? What do you call that? The Old Testament makes over 300 predictions about the Messiah, and Jesus fulfilled all of them. What do you call that? My name is Richard Eng, and I love to talk about faith, culture, Jesus, the Bible, all kinds of things. And if you like that kind of content, please give me a follow on this channel. So what were some of those prophecies that Jesus fulfilled? The very first promise of the Messiah comes in Genesis chapter 3, where God makes a promise that the seed of the woman would crush the head of the serpent. This is fulfilled by Jesus, a descendant of Eve, on the cross, who ultimately crushed the head of the serpent by defeating death. Zechariah 2:10 says that God will live among his people. Well, Jesus lived among the Jews. Zechariah 9:9, Israel's king will ride on a donkey. Jesus came into Jerusalem riding a donkey. God promised that a virgin would conceive. Mary was a virgin when Jesus was conceived. Isaiah 7:14. In Isaiah 29:18, God promised a time when the blind would see. Jesus healed the blind. Isaiah 35:5, God promised a time when the deaf would hear. Jesus healed the deaf. Isaiah 35:6, God promised a time when the lame would be healed. Jesus healed the lame. Isaiah 35:6 again, God promised a time when the mute would speak. Jesus healed the mute. Exodus 12:46, the Jews were not to break the bones of the Passover lamb. Jesus' bones were not broken on the cross. The psalmist says that his friends will abandon him. The disciples abandoned Jesus. Not to mention the predictions that Jesus made about himself. Jesus said he would rebuild the temple, or referring to his body, after 3 days. He rose from the dead after 3 days. There are hundreds and hundreds of foreshadowings, predictions, prophecies that all came true in Jesus. How do you explain that?